Jennifer. This is Lisa Salturi from Pet Communication Journey, and today I'm going to give you your personal reading, and I thank you very much for allowing me to do this for you. As the group is called Pet Communication Journey, I am on a journey and I'm learning all about my own abilities with psychic communication and mediumship and healing others, and that includes pets and people. So that's why I do offer people personal readings for themselves or their pets. So again, I truly appreciate you allowing me to do this for you. And if you will, when we finish up and you do get this reading, provide me with any feedback, because feedback's really important for my development. And if anything doesn't resonate with you, just kind of pin it up and keep it for future use, because there's a lot of times where the visions that we see, because we all actually have intuition and psychic abilities, but the visions we see are always real. But sometimes there are things that are going to happen in the future that maybe you're not even aware of yet, or maybe it's something that you forgot about too, or something similar to what I was saying. So always keep them in mind. So let's get started, okay? I did burn some sage. I like to do that, and some Palo Santo, which kind of keeps the energy, the vibration of the energy clean and good. And I'm going to also add a little sound. This is a singing bowl. If you're not used to seeing those, that's what they provide, a little sound energy for us here in the room. And I'm going to ask that your higher self, Jennifer's higher self, and that my higher self and our guides and our archangels come together today for this reading in the highest vibration of love and light, and connect with both of our higher selves and give us the best and highest, purest information that is helpful for Jennifer in her life in regards to the questions that she gave. And so it is. I just like to start out like that, just to get a good energy and ask our higher selves and our archangels and our councils and everybody who's in charge of our good and love to be here with us and intervene. Okay, so I hope that you find this all helpful, and you can always watch it a couple times because there's going to be a lot of information. And okay, so the question you have for me was, you asked, what is the best step to take in getting the life that you want? And you kind of had in parentheses, more freedom of the time to use as you would like, love from your husband, and more financial freedom. And I know a lot of those are everybody's wants and dreams. And I have to say to you that, yes, they are possible. And I'm going to try to give you as much information today as I can in helping you manifest these, the first step, and whatever step it takes for you to make your life happen. And then, so I'm going to give you those steps as best as I can, as clearly as I can. And then I'm also going to post some affirmations by Steve Nobel, and he has free stuff on YouTube that I'm going to recommend for you to say in order to manifest and make these first steps happen in those areas. And then I want to set up, I have the crystal grid here for you. I don't know if I can point downward. Well, you're going to see my mess here. Oh, wait, shoot, this isn't working right. Hold on. Well, it's right here. So I'm going to have to figure out a way once I can move everything out of the way. I have that set up for you, and that is going to even further help us, because crystals, we can set intentions on the crystals for you and then have you write down your intentions. And we're going to go through the steps on how to do that. And you can set up one of these in your house, and I can even tell you where to buy the stones and all that. It's nothing fancy. It doesn't have to cost a lot. I've used these and they work. I've manifested my house. I manifested my dog. There's so many things you can set these up for, especially financial wealth, love, making love better in a relationship, for creativity, to, like you're saying, you want more time for yourself. And I do have ideas of what I believe that to be. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And then I want to get into just some things that came up when I meditated and I tried to connect with your higher self, and just a few little intuitive things that I picked up on that I wanted to share with you about an archangel that I picked up on, and an animal guide that I picked up on for you, and just a few things that I see for you. Okay, so let's, I think that's the order I want to do this. So bear with me here. Okay. So let me go to, I do have notes here. I just want to make sure I do this in the right order because my notes are not in the right order. Okay. So to begin with, so the first step in getting what you want in life, whether it be your relationship, time for doing what you want to do, financial, whatever it is, it doesn't actually matter, because my first step that I'm going to tell you about is that you definitely want to, there's two aspects to this, but you want to, it's kind of like having a food menu. When you go to a restaurant and they're like, okay, we'll kind of take your order, and you're like, do I want the hamburger today? And you start thinking about the hamburger and how it tastes, and then not mood for hamburger today. Then you think about the steak, and you're like, a nice juicy steak and a baked potato, maybe. And then you think about, a salad or whatever, and you feel into each one. So the first step, and this is the same for anything you want in life, the first step is that you want to feel into, with your emotions, what it is that you, and that would be by experiencing that in your body. Okay. So it's like I'm saying, it's like looking at a menu. So first you're going to feel into what it's like when you know what you want. Okay. So say for instance, let's just say for instance, with your husband and you want to say improve the relationship and make it more spicy and passionate, and kind of bring back some of that, with that attraction back into how he maybe used to feel and then how you used to feel, because it is a two-way street. And so what you're going to need to do is know what you want first in that relationship, and then you're going to create it. Okay. So there's two prongs to that. So our feelings or emotions are actually tools for us, because they're like messengers. Okay. So let's start with this. So when you want to create, that you want to improve your relationship with your husband. So you're wanting the steps. Okay. So what you're going to do is, and this is the fun part, I want you, and you can write it down too. Get yourself a journal, or a notepad. It could be any kind, doesn't have to be fancy. But I have this one right here. This is mine, pricing it backwards. And I want you to take some time, just 5 minutes even, maybe before you go to bed, or when you have a little time yourself. And I want you to just sit down and the sky is the limit. Okay, that's the cool thing about manifesting what we want. There are no limits. This is all about fantasy. This is all about the best of the best. So I want you to sit there and I want you to think about your perfect relationship where he loves you the way you want to be loved, and he's loving you the way he wants to be loved. Okay. So, I'm thinking in a relationship, you want to be able to feel, so you can close your eyes and feel and see the excitement, the joy, the contentment, the pleasure, and whatever it is, the harmony, the fun, the love, the attraction, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. There's no judgment in this, because this is your fantasy. Okay. You can have whatever you want in this fantasy, and the more, the better. Okay. That's what this is about. Okay. So I want you to take the time to do that. All right. And so that's step number one. Okay. And that would be for your relationship. And then you're going to do the same thing for, your financial wealth. Okay. And you're going to have to narrow that down. Now you can decide if that will be a career where you're going to be making this kind of money, or if you just want to focus on the abundance of wealth. Doesn't matter how that wealth's going to come, but you're going to envision your life with that feeling of how it feels having what you want. Will that include a brand new car? And pick out that car. Pick out the car. What would you pick? It can be anything. Pick the color. It can be, I don't know, you want a convertible? Did you want a Porsche? Whatever you want, just do it. That's how it works. You have to envision it and you have to feel it. With the vision comes the feeling, okay? So you have to have both, the vision and the feeling. The feelings, the emotions of actually having them. Is it a house? What does that house look like? Okay, Jennifer, have fun with this. Does it have a fireplace? Does it have a wooded lot? Do you have 3 to 5 acres? Do you have below ground pool? Or is it your house you have now, but maybe you're remodeling it? What would each one of those rooms look like? Does it have granite in the kitchen, or would you just make some of the rooms bigger? I mean, it doesn't have to be fancy, but it's whatever that comfort of being in that home feels like. You know what I'm saying? So it's putting the feeling with the thought, okay? And then the same would be true of that time that you have, that you want for yourself. When you have that time for yourself, what would you be doing with that time? And I have ideas of what I think that you'll be wanting to do at the time. And I have a feeling they would be around being creative with some of your own abilities that maybe have been put on hold, because, you know, as life gets busy like it always does, sometimes we can't be as creative as we want. And if you're like me, and I have a feeling you are, being creative and creating and putting something into actual form, whether it be painting or beauty, and if you do makeup for people or hair, or whatever it be, a million different things. It's so rewarding to create something and make it a reality, because you're getting out that whole creative process, that flow of the creativity. And it's so important for creative people to get that out, because if they don't, you kind of have like blocks in your body, in your personality. And being creative, it's like a satisfaction you get from just creating. So whatever that is for you, if you had that time to do whatever you wanted, because your life's so abundant that you had time now, because you're happy and you're doing what you want, what would you be doing? Envision that in your head. Would it be pottery? Would it be a business where you're creating jewelry? Or for me, it would maybe be I'd have my own shop where I'd have I do tarot card readings for people, and I'd have all the cool crystals and fun stuff like that, you know, and I'd hold workshops for people, you know, cool stuff like that. And I would envision that in my mind and see it. Okay, now the second part to the feeling part of that, excuse me, I need to get a drink here. And this is actually the most important part of the feeling part, because when we're going to envision what we want, it's going to happen for you, Jennifer. Okay, but the thing that will slow it down, the actual manifestation here, the part that can slow it down is when you have the negative thoughts and emotions and feelings that are surrounded, say, by your relationship, okay? Because we all have that too. You know, we judge our relationships. Like right now, you might have judgments about your husband or yourself in the relationship. So therefore, you want this relationship that you're going to see in your head that's great and wonderful, but you also have to confront the feelings that you have towards yourself in that relationship. Maybe things about self-love, okay? Judgment about yourself, judgment about your husband. Those kind of feelings, a lot of times they're going to probably be negative for all of us. You have to work through those, work through your shit, as they say, work through your issues. You have to acknowledge them. Sometimes it takes a little time to sit down and think about. They're usually going to be judgments. They're going to be judgments about yourself or about the other, okay? They're criticisms, they're shames, they're guilts. What else? I'm trying to think. I'll just say, as an example, would be if you would, for me, I put on weight in the past couple years, for instance. And because I did that, then there was shame, body shame, surrounding my own issues with how I now looked. Okay. So therefore, it kind of interfered with my intimacy in my relationship. So I didn't want him to see my body. Ugh, yeah. But see, that just caused problems. And then, you know, I'm judging myself. So that would be an issue I'd have to work out. Okay. And as you're working out those issues, you want to, like I say, confront them, figure them out. Like I just said, I figured out that I have issues with my body because I know I put on weight. And then what I do is I kind of block the intimacy in the relationship, which isn't even fair to him, right? Now, I'm not saying that's my issue. You have to think through yours, okay? Or it could be judging the guy. Like he doesn't pay enough attention to me, for instance. Now, that's a judgment, okay? It doesn't mean it's true. It could be true. It might not be true. But we have to start thinking about why he's not paying enough attention. Maybe we're partly responsible. Maybe we're mean sometimes because we feel bad about ourselves because we put on weight or we don't like the way we feel about ourselves. I know I can be really cranky and crappy towards him when I don't like me. Okay, I've noticed that. That's something I've noticed. So think through those things. Let me look at my note here for a second. I have this written down. Okay, so yeah, work through any issues or feelings that are negative that you feel towards the relationship. We'll take that as an example. Or otherwise, it could be money. If you're going to talk about financial issues, you have to look at your issues surrounding money. Some of us feel guilty about having money. Some of us think money's evil. They always say, oh, money's the root of all evil. Some of us feel like money's evil. Greed can be evil. We could think of that. We have to think about why we think that. It could be parents who told us that. Some people like to, if they have money, they like to spend it all because they don't think they should have it or deserve it. Okay, we all deserve to have money. And that's where I'm going to give you some affirmations after we talk about this part, where you can reprogram your mind once you figure out any issues that you might have that are negative about judgment. And then you're going to use some affirmations to get yourself in this state of mind where you're going to feel into what you want, like we just talked about, create that fantasy of what you want. And then we're going to make it happen for you with our intention grid and a few other ideas. So, all right. So let's see. One second here. Okay. So I was saying, if you have any issues about yourself, you feel guilty about receiving intimacy, like we'll just focus on a relationship, okay? Or you feel shame, like I said, about your body. These are the feelings you will need to observe and release. And the way to do that, and it's not that complicated, and you might already know the step, but I'm going to just give you some advice in case you don't. So we're going to reprogram the mind. And in the simplest form, what you're going to do is you're going to, when I had brought up the fact, I said, oh, I gained weight and I don't like my body. Okay, I hate my body, or I'm embarrassed. So I'm shaming myself. That is a judgment, okay? So instead, now what you want to do is you want to observe. You want to be the observer of the judgment, okay? Rather than being so hard on yourself. When you're hard on yourself, you want to start crying when you say it. You're just like, I hate myself. I'm in this terrible situation. I can't lose the weight. It's messing up my relationship. But instead, just observe how you're judging yourself. Observe how you feel, okay? Observe that emotion, because that emotion is not you, okay? It's not you. It's separate from you. It's a feeling and it's a message that you're getting about something, all right? So when you feel that and it comes up and you're addressing the issue, I just want you to observe it. Just be like, that's interesting how I feel. Okay. And then let it go, okay? Let it go. Release it. Okay, that's cool. I'm just gonna, all right, I thought about it and I'm done for now. I'm not gonna judge myself right now, because you know what? Yeah, I knew I need to lose weight, but you know what? I still look good and I love myself. I'm still a good person and I'll work on it, but I'm still worthy, damn it, of love. Okay? I am worthy of love. I'm still sexy. And just because I put on some weight, I'm still a beautiful woman, and that doesn't make me any less of a woman. So, you can build yourself up in that, but just observe it and let it go. Because once you do that, you're reprogramming your mind, you're learning to release it, and you can actually move on from the issue, okay? And this is something, Jennifer, I can help you with this further. There's different techniques that you can use to actually do that. Because the biggest problem people have when they want to manifest, stuff and get what they want in life is it gets slowed down because people have the issues that they don't want to work out because they fear things like money fears or relationship fears. And if you can't work through those fears, then you're always going to have doubts, no matter how much you sit there and fantasize about this great relationship and you're like, I'm going to make it happen. You're still going to have all these negative fears coming through. So once you work that stuff out, by observing it, releasing it, letting it go, reprogram your mind, the manifestations of what you want are going to happen like boom, wildfire. And seriously, they will. But it's just a matter of working through that stuff. I mean, you'll still have stuff happen for you if you really set your intentions, but they'll happen so much quicker once you work through, the issues, because you really can't avoid the issues. They have to be addressed. And it's really not that hard. Okay, so let me look at my notes again. Okay. One thing I wanted to say that, so we're going to feel and envision what we want, like we said, for the relationship, as if you already have it. That's what you're going to be thinking. You're going to see it as if you already have it. See it, feel it, make it your fantasy relationship, because you have fun, and you know what? You deserve it, because this is your life. You are in charge of it, okay? And so this will set the intention of what it is you want, okay? And we want to set the intention. It's very important. All right. And when you set the intention, this vision and the energy, the feeling, the energy of it is the thought form. And it literally will manifest into an actual thing, okay? Let me say that again. That's really important to think about. I mean, let's break down the science of it. The vision and the feeling of what it is that you want, say, for instance, a fantasy relationship, as you're seeing it, you're feeling the joy and love, you're seeing it between you and your husband. That is actually creating an energy, okay? That energy is your thought form, and that is the vibration that creates everything that we have. That it creates the universe, okay? That thought form literally manifests into the actual thing that you want, okay? That's what's important, what you think and what you feel. What you think and what you feel is what's going to manifest. Therefore, again, back to the thing I said, we have to work through some of the negative thoughts that we have as well, because those things will hinder our ability to get what we want quickly and manifest it, okay? So then the very last step in all of this, it kind of sounds like a lot of work, but it really isn't. It's just working through those issues. So the last step is gratitude. And you've heard this before. I'm not sure how old you are, and I'm probably dating myself, but if you were a fan of Oprah at any time, she was always big on the gratitude journal. Well, you know what? She was right. So what we want to do is the last step is when we create this fantasy relationship and we feel it and we've worked through our issues and we've created the energy and now it's become this thought form, it's out there, we put it out in the universe, right? We want to show gratitude, okay, so it's almost like we're showing gratitude to the universe as if we've already received it, okay? So you're going to infuse your intention, that energy thought form, and we're going to transmit it into the universe by using love. You know, you can think of the love you have for your husband, or love for the money, the love for your time that you're going to have for yourself, and the thankfulness for this fantasy relationship or your intention, as if you already have it. Just be like thankful and just put that love and feeling in your heart as if you've already got it. It's already here. Even though you don't see it, it's already asked for. It's already out there. That energy's been put out there. Okay? It's already happening. It just has to now be concrete into the physical reality, okay? So you're going to act as if you already have it, because it is going to come. So you know it's going to come. It's just a matter now of waiting and being a little bit patient. So I want you to feel the joy and the excitement and the gratitude, because you're going to love how this feels when you have it. And you do have it. So you're thankful that it's on its way, and act as if you've already received it. All right. And again, there might be some delays because you might have you have to quicken the results by resolving your inner stumbling blocks. You can't ignore them. Again, last thing I want to say about that is like self-worth issues, false beliefs, and that's it for that. And one way you can really quickly, and like I said, is meditation. I'm not sure if you meditate, but if you want to reprogram your mind, meditation is so important, because you are going to be quieting your mind, and it helps you to know what you really want. It helps you to know what will actually bring you pleasure. So if you're not really sure, like I know I'm giving you ideas for what you want in your relationship, or what you want for financial independence, or how you want to create that step for the time, what will you do in that time if you have it? If you don't know the answers to those, then that's where I'm saying, if you want to book another section, I can give you techniques, so that with step one, even before we do all this stuff with the manifestation, we need to teach you how to meditate and how to quiet your mind. There are techniques to do that, because once you start working on the inner Jennifer, she will now know what she wants. Because we're going to quiet your mind. We're going to help you to understand to what you really want and what to bring pleasure. And by the way, you can also meditate to help you manifest these items that you have here. I meditate every night as much as I can. And actually, to tell you the truth, it's one of my most favorite times of the day I do it before I go to bed, and it's like so relaxing, and I just feel so connected with myself and my guides, my higher guides, and I always ask them for advice, and I don't know, it's just awesome. And also, when I show you how to make this crystal grid, you are going to need to do a couple minutes of meditation as we set the intentions for what you want here in life. It's not hard. All you're really going to need to do is close your eyes and take a couple deep breaths. Have a place where you can go for a couple minutes and be by yourself, and then think of those intentions of, wanting that relationship, and again, visualizing it, fantasizing about it, and then the financial situation, and then the time by yourself. We'll get into that in a couple minutes. Let me go back now. Let me see if there's anything else I want to say. I wonder if I should just go into the crystal grid, because it would make most sense before I start going into some of the other things that I picked up during my intuitive session with your higher self. Hold on. I think it would make more sense, Jennifer, if I... Okay, now this is all I'm giving you for free, because these are all techniques that normally I'm going to be doing some classes on. I might be offering them for free. I don't know yet. Most likely I probably will, because I'm kind of at that stage where I'm kind of just like sharing my information. And that's important for me to do, because I feel like I want other people to learn how to do things on their own so that they can empower themselves, heal themselves, and just be more loving people and get what they want in life. Okay. So the crystal intention grid, like I was saying, I love to use these, and I want to figure out how I can show it to you. So I think